Good morning, everybody. Some of my players at school were asking when the next Hopper Hot Take was going to take place. So, boys, here it is. And because you asked, and because people have been asking and expecting a Hopper Hot Take, you're going to get a 2-for-1 today. So let's start out. We're going to talk first about a case out of Georgia. Hold on, let me find this. Amani Bell was a 16-year-old junior high school basketball player. When she collapsed and died in August of 2019, this was a day that Georgia athletic trainers will tell you nobody should have been outside practicing. But her basketball coaches felt like they needed to be running outside. First of all, basketball doesn't need to be running outside. Period. Second of all, when it's hot, it's hot, it's hot, it's hot. We have heat policies for a reason. She passed away August 13th, 2019, of exertional heat stroke. The official cause of death was a heart attack related to heat illness. They said she also had kidney failure, etc., etc., etc. After the fact, the two basketball coaches at that school have been charged with second-degree murder, child cruelty, manslaughter, and a couple of other charges. I noticed that case has not moved forward since the indictments in 2021. So those cases are still pending as to where that's going to go. Those are believed to be only the second time that a coach has been charged criminally for an athlete's death, and the first time that a coach has been charged with murder related to an athlete's death. It was just released in the news the other day that the school district had reached a settlement with the girl's family for $10 million. Okay, that is a lot of money. And quite frankly, her family has owed every bit of it, if not more. Okay, but school districts have to quit paying lawsuits, and instead, let's start paying for health care. Let's start paying to do things right. But really, this lawsuit needs to look at a lot of different things. And quite frankly, I think that these coaches need to be an example. Put them in jail. Put them in jail. Because maybe that will make another coach think twice next time they do something so stupid. We have to start following best practices. And I don't mean, well, we have the policies. I mean, we have to follow the policies. We also have to address coaches' education. We always want to add more coaches' education. Well, quite frankly, we also have to make coaches' education a little more interesting, a little bit more personal. Because I saw several tweets talk about how, well, they just don't care about it anyway. They're going to do whatever, blah, blah, blah. Have anybody taken the NFHS concussion training? It's brutal. So we have to find ways to improve that coach's education so that maybe they'll take it a little more serious. We can't just go, well, here it is, go do it so we can sign off on it. So that's problem number one. Okay? Like I said, the school district just paid out $10 million, or they will be paying out $10 million in that settlement. The criminal case is still pending, and we'll see where that goes from there. But definitely a lot going on in that situation there. The other story that I want to talk about, and this is one that people have been asking me about all week, and you saw it on social media. It hit social media hard over the weekend. Basketball teams go away to destination locations for Thanksgiving tournaments, right? You got teams that go to the Bahamas. You got teams that go out to Las Vegas. You got teams going all over the place. Well, there was a women's invitational held out in Las Vegas, but they didn't play in a basketball arena. They played at the Mirage, which is a hotel. And so, for starters, pictures came up of why in the world are they playing in a hotel ballroom. Now, that's not necessarily unusual. There are men's teams and women's teams who play in ballrooms. Personally, I think it's stupid. Okay? But there were people throwing a fit about it earlier last week. Whatever. Like I said, I think it's stupid. I don't agree with doing it, but I don't see it being the end of the world either, right? The bigger issue came up when a basketball player from Auburn, and I may screw this name up, but I'm going to try this. Looks like Carissa Richardson. Took a hard fall. She hit the gym floor. I did see video of this. She hit the gym floor and apparently was complaining of head and neck pain. Here's where people, I think, can't read or just don't want to pay attention or whatever, right? Here's where we continue to fail in society to understand. Okay? These are Division I basketball teams. Several of these were Power 5 schools. They're not sending their women's basketball team to a tournament without an athletic trainer from their school. Okay? So the pictures originally came out, and there were some tweets about how it took 50 minutes for EMS to show up. We'll talk about EMS in a second. But I've seen a lot of people, athletic trainers included, who have gone off about why a team would go to a tournament without medical personnel. Well, let's take a step back here. And first of all, remember that athletic trainers are medical personnel. Certified athletic trainer is recognized by the American Medical Association as an allied healthcare professional. We're certified by the Board of Certification for Athletic Trainers nationally. And in 49 states, we are regulated by a state board of some sort, whether that is licensure, like in the state of Texas, or certification, like in the state of South Carolina. With the exception of California, athletic trainers are regulated healthcare providers. So don't even talk about, well, they went to this tournament without medical personnel. That's a wrong answer. The problem exists in that healthcare provider, what was her name again? I saw it. Faith Baxter, who's the athletic trainer at Auburn University, was actually quickly out on the floor to begin evaluating and holding cervical spine stabilization of this women's basketball player's head and neck. So they had medical personnel on site, but the athletic trainer decided that they needed an ambulance. Here's where a major, major problem came in. They didn't have EMS on site for the tournament. Now, I've been told by college athletic trainers that EMS is not required at basketball games. Okay, great. You would think maybe a tournament might have them anyway. I also looked it up the other day, and Las Vegas has an EMS response time of approximately 4 minutes on average. So why did it take over 50 minutes for EMS to arrive? Apparently, the Mirage had no answer to what happens if somebody gets hurt. Why did it take 50 minutes for EMS to arrive? Now, I had other athletic trainers go, well, I've waited that long for an ambulance when I was working out in the country and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, me too. I've held C-spine for over 30 minutes. It's brutal. But I haven't done it in a freaking city. EMS shouldn't have taken 50 minutes to respond. And I don't know how Las Vegas responds to EMS calls. I do know that here in Dallas, if we were to call 911 and we needed an ambulance and there wasn't one readily available to us, like within that 4 to 6 to 8 minute time frame, they would at a minimum send a fire engine who has paramedics on it, who could then begin care until that ambulance could arrive. And I still don't think an ambulance would have taken 50 minutes to show up at our school. Okay, the longest that I can remember EMS taking to get to our school was 12 or 13 minutes a couple of years ago. But like I said, the fire engine rolled in before them, equipped with paramedics. And the ambulance was only a few minutes behind them. And when I looked up the ambulance, it was coming from quite a distance away, which meant that the other two ambulances closer to us were out on calls themselves. Okay? So, again, I sit here and I go, yeah, they played in a ballroom. Not ideal situation. Quite frankly, I think it's dumb. Quite frankly, I think the school administrators of all of these teams and these tournament directors have a lot of a lot of questions to answer. But the number one being, why did it take so long for EMS to show up? And quit blaming it on somebody else, because that's what they're going to do. Student health and safety has to be a priority of everybody involved. And we have to quit pointing fingers at somebody else. So, that is today's Hopper Hot Take. You got two of them today. Again, the case out of Georgia. It will be interesting to see where those murder charges do end up. I would hate to see more coaches facing that. However, I do think that it's time that reckless behavior be punished. We've passed laws, we've passed legislation in certain states. We have policies in place. There has to be a punishment involved if we don't follow them. And in the second case, again, being at the Mirage in Vegas and playing basketball in a ballroom, personally, I don't find that very smart. But we have to make sure that healthcare is provided regardless of where we're hosting the tournament. So that is today's Hopper Hot Take. You guys have a great day. Maybe it'll warm temperatures up around Dallas a little bit. I don't know. But you guys have a great day, and we will see you soon.